We are live.
We live? Oh.
Yeah, I know we live. I'm gonna wait for a little bit. Hopefully, people can join. We'll see. This is our first show. We'll see if people join us live. If
Yeah.
not, we're gonna make it live because we're live.
we
Okay.
lit. We lit. We lit.
Um.
We lit. We lit.
So.
Live. ATL, shawty.
Oh yeah. Yes. Representing. Hey, look at you. Look at you out here. Out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So this is great. I'm with it. I'm with
So
it.
we're gonna jump into it. I know I was gonna try to wait for a minute for folks to hop on, but we're gonna get into the conversation because we have a lot to cover in a short amount of time. So
Yeah.
real quick, everybody out there, this your girl Kelly, aka Kelly McG314. Shout out to my partner in community, Miss Vanna,
Yeah.
aka host of the Hood Talks podcast. So shout
I
out,
love it.
shout
I
out.
love
I had
it.
to do that. I had to do that because I mean,
It's real. It just makes the
we
space even more like, yeah,
need
yeah.
the energy, and like you're
We
that.
need
So
energy.
so
Oh,
real
thank
quick,
you,
you know,
girl.
of course. So
Appreciate it.
So real quick, let me set the stage here for the people that don't know. This is Monday Night Live. We are here in full effect. And basically we're gonna talk about the foolery of local government all day, every day on the city side, also on the county side, because we have to be engaged, we have to stay aware in order to make sure we are to make things shake in our communities, hold folks accountable, all of that jazz.
All of that. All
So so
the
I tried
accountabilities.
accountability, transparency, all of that. So
Real.
I kind of started doing this a little bit a few months ago, stopped it because there was a lot of other things going on, and said I'm gonna revamp it, but I gotta have my girl Vanna on her too. Because literally I'll be calling her, I'll be like, girl, what the hell's going on with your county people? And she'd be like, girl, well, what's going on with your city people? So we have that conversations, but we really be talking about real stuff, y'all. And
We do be talking about real stuff. It's real.
so I felt like this was the perfect space for us to have a platform where we can get into the issues beyond the clickbait or the little sound bite they might play on the news. We gonna talk about the real issues, the pros, the cons, all the perspectives, so we can get to the meat and potatoes of policies, bills being passed, and a lot of issues with our local government. And again, why local government? Because local government impacts our day to day the most, y'all. I'm just gonna
Yes,
keep it real.
it does. Local really do matter, clearly.
Really. So y'all know me, Kelly McG, 314. Yep, that's me. But real quick, for the people that don't know, Miss Vanna, I mean, I consider you my partner in community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You keep it real, you keep it raw, you keep it a buck, you center community, you're a mama, you do all the things. But real quick, for the people that don't know who you are, please can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so shout out to you. First of all, I appreciate you, Kelly. I appreciate you and all the work that you doing. You need to hit the horn for yourself because you was out here doing some work. Okay. So I am Vanna. Government name is Shavanna. I'm gonna go and throw it out there. I am a mom of two beautiful baby girls. Creator and founder of the Hood Talks podcast, where we are uplifting community voices. A podcast centered around community, empowering the voices of the community, providing resources to the community. That's what we do at the Hood Talks podcast. I am what people would call a community activist, but I call myself a community advocate. I advocate that y'all need to make sure that community is at the table, especially when you're making decisions about the community. You can't leave the community out of that, okay? So that's kind of what I do. Certified doula, but I call myself again a birth and doula advocates because I'm out here again advocating for those spaces. And that's pretty much just like trying to keep connecting with dope people like Kelly to make sure that we got real impact happening in our STL community. Because, like she said, local government and local things impact us directly. And I'm so St. Louis. Ask my tattooist. So yeah, that's me. That's me. That's your girl. Check me out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube as well. The Hood Talks podcast. So yeah, check us out. Shout out to you, girl.
Shout out to you. Thank you for that. So we're gonna get into this conversation real quick. So
Ask because we got a lot to do.
we have a lot. So this is a special show for us because usually, we talk about local government, but we have some important elections coming up on November 8th, y'all, on November 8th. So we about to get into this because people ain't really talking about it for real.
No, they're not.
Um,
They're not.
they're not talking about it. So we finna get into this to kind of talk about what's gonna be on the ballot. Real quick though, before we get into an overview of what's on the ballot, we do have to acknowledge,
Yes.
and I want to express my condolences to what occurred at Central Visual and Performing Arts High School this morning. A young lady and a teacher both lost their lives just being at school. And so definitely condolences go out to the families. They go out to the students because I know there are also other
The
people
staff,
wounded
the
and
teachers,
just everyone that experienced that.
the community. That's even going to impact the
Yep.
community in that space. So everyone that's in that area, in the community that's hurting right now, really want to send y'all all the condolences and just prayers and thoughts. I cannot even fathom what is going on in those folks' mind. Man, so yes, man. Whew, St. Louis.
I know. And so, and me and Shavanna, we talked before we got on here about just showing up in the space after this has happened, but we both agree um, it's even more important for us to have this conversation about us getting our asses up and voting on November 8th. Again, again, the situation very layered, very complex. We don't know all the details about what went down. However, something that we all can agree on is that there are too many guns. The access is just it's ridiculous. Again, a lot of layers and a lot of levels to it.
There's just a senseless murdering. Again, condolence to the family members. It's senseless. That young, beautiful girl that lost her life, and her mom and her father who has to endure this loss and this tragic loss. Yeah, we have to do. We just we gotta rally around something different and do some different things, y'all. Cause this is not okay. It's not okay.
No,
It shouldn't happen anywhere, let alone home in our own neighborhoods, in our own areas. We gotta do better.
in our schools, safe
Our
space.
schools where our babies are supposed to be learning, supposed to be the safe space. And I can't imagine trying to send the children back into that space.
No,
Even the principal, shout out to the principal and what his mental health state may be right now as well. Hearing that he kind of held that, yeah, y'all, we definitely
I,
praise.
I do want to shout out our police officers, the other security staff of the school, because they acted very swiftly. And although lives were lost, people were wounded, it could have been a lot worse. Obviously, two fatalities is still, that's a lot, you
Yeah,
know. Um,
too much, too many.
so
Still,
I will say that because we've seen, unfortunately, in other circumstances where the police weren't as responsive. So
and I just want to
uh,
say, let's make sure that we rally around those families that lost those
we
loved ones, and make sure that we really support them. Show out in a positive way, community. It's like SEL that we can. We know we can. So let's really be mindful of how we're showing up and what we're doing in this space, along with sharing.
I
Let's
know.
be let's be mindful, y'all. Ooh, let's put that head down, please.
All
Let's
right. So, with that being said, we're going to get into this conversation. Again, this is a very timely conversation. Um, so let's get into it, y'all. So again, general elections. For people that don't know, um, these elections, we vote in like 2 weeks. So,
Yes.
but before we get into it, I have to provide disclaimers because I love my people. But people be like, well, Kelly and Vanna, they didn't say this. So, real quick, disclaimer number one, we are providing an overview.
Yes.
Okay. Just
It's a little basic. It's a little
hell
basic.
ballots, city, county. We're going to highlight a few. So, it is imperative you
That you
check
go.
out the sample ballot online.
Yes.
So, note of that, number one. And the second disclaimer, again, because I don't want people saying, well, Kelly and Nana, we are telling people how to vote.
We
Okay.
are not telling you how to vote. Please, it's your choice on who you want to vote for. We are just providing an oversight of who will be on these ballots and some of the things that they've done that we have received. Okay. That's it. That's it. Other than that, please be educated and informed. Like she said, go check out your ballot. Go do your research on these candidates. Look, I said candidates. These candidates. Please, y'all, go do that for yourselves and know who and what you're voting on. That's very important. Okay.
Thank you for
Be
that.
ready when you show up at the polls on the 8th.
Yes, be ready. And also for folks that are either watching us online now, live, or later, feel free if you have any questions or comments, definitely post them joints, put them in the chat. We'll go back and we'll be sure to answer any questions or comments or what have you moving forward. So we're gonna get into this. Y'all ready? You ready? You ready, Rana? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So first and foremost, before we actually talk about the ballot, voter ID is a thing. And you can be in your feelings about it. You can, being in the lovely state of Missouri. Um,
Ah, real,
but
real.
you have to show a non-expired government issue ID when you go to vote to the poll. So if you
Yeah.
view this little slide here, there are you can find information, Department of Revenue, the League of Women Voters as well, to find out more information about what are acceptable forms of ID. Also, if you need to obtain an ID for free, there are resources available. So tap into those resources and share. Also, for people, you go to the poll and you like, damn, I ain't got my ID. What can I do? So
Right.
you can, if you are registered to vote, you can cast a provisional ballot. And the ballot would count if you do one or two things. So one, if you go back to the polling place with your ID, you know what I'm saying, then you good.
Okay. Teach me some.
Or now this is interesting. The signature on your provisional ballot envelope, it matches the signature on your voter registration record. And the people at the poll, they're the ones that determine if it matches or not.
I'll get you
Um,
an ID, y'all.
so I'm telling y'all, just make sure. I
Please.
want the people to know because I didn't know. You know. If you didn't know, now you know. And please let other people know as
Yes.
well.
That's
Um,
great. But I also think, oh, don't get me started because I'm
I
thinking,
know,
like,
I'm just
is that a
I,
loophole? But we could be
that
like, I don't think
that's
this.
open to interpretation.
Yeah. So, yeah, that it sounds good, y'all. But, you got to be careful.
Make sure you bring
Friend,
your ID, y'all. Just make sure you have it.
let's get that ID, a legit ID, please. Legit ID.
Yes, photo ID. All right, you ready, Vanna? You ready? All right, Senate race. So obviously, we're gonna be voting on things all levels of government. At the top, federal. Y'all, this U.S. Senate race. This is kind of a big deal. Okay. So we have, as you see on the screen, there are four candidates. I know the most talked about are Eric Schmidt, who's a
Yeah,
Republican candidate, and
truly.
this is Trudy Bush Valentine, who is
Mhm.
a Democratic candidate. We've also got Paul Venable and Jonathan Dean,
Yeah,
who
you know
represent
too much about them.
parties that I'm not super familiar with. But again, people, do your research. Google is your friend. Um,
Do your research, because some people, again, like you said, like some of these parties that they represent, a lot of people don't know about,
mhm.
because we kind of put those Republicans and Democrat parties into the front line. So hey, this might, people are saying like, I don't want to vote for either one of those. Well, this might be your opportunity to put your vote, cast it for someone else if you feel them qualified. I'm not saying to, I'm just saying go do your research and see if there's something that you may be more aligned with and want to cast your vote on. So you have other options. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And I will share too, this is an election that people are peeping. Because the Senate right now, I mean, whew, it's really close when you're talking about who has the quote unquote power. So all of these races, everybody named mama are peeping them to see who's gonna have that little nudge of power. Will it be the Republican folks? Will it be the Democrats? How will that fare? So this is really important. This is an interesting race. So I'm gonna be peeping.
Yes. Yes. 420 friendly. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where y'all at?
All right, y'all. And this is, if y'all ain't heard about this, then you must be living under a rock, honey.
Yes.
Because this is on the ballot, the legalization of recreational marijuana, aka Amendment 3. And now, real quick, people can have how you have your thoughts about it. But what I will share that I think is positive, I think that because this is on the ballot, it's gonna bring a lot of people to the poll that normally wouldn't be checking for voting. True story. Shout out to Slate. I was there doing a little activity with some of the young people about civic engagement, voting, and all of that. And a young sister, she ended up getting registered to vote because she said, yeah, I want to vote to legalize recreational marijuana. Again,
Ooh.
I'm just saying whatever gets people to the polls. However, again, make sure you're informed
Yes.
on what you're voting on.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of talk about this, Vanna.
It is a lot. It's a lot of two-sided. Like a lot of people are excited and a lot of people aren't excited. I've heard very much both sides. And again, like you said, just being aware of the information that's being provided about what this means when they do this. And this is just a general, again, overview. There's so much in this bill.
It is.
A lot of times people are saying too, there's so many questions that are unanswered. So again, y'all, uh call your elected officials, reach out to them, ask them, what does this mean? What is this? They are the ones somewhat drafting this legislation and has access, so they should be able to help you with understanding it. So if you don't get it, reach out to these local leaders and elected officials to get clarification so you can know again what you're voting for.
Yeah, it's again, it's some interesting stuff because I follow Twitter because I be peeping all the pettiness and the I like listen to me. That's where I find a lot of my information, especially about local
I'm about to
government.
say politics is really dramatic. It's like a great soap opera sometimes.
Um, and so people been going back and forth. It really is. People been going back and forth on this amendment. I will say the biggest um I guess criticism I've seen about this is when we're talking about equity, right? So
Mhm.
obviously we
The
know
evidence.
marijuana and just the drug game in general, how it's really put a lot of us um,
Mhm.
prison.
At a
The
disadvantage.
criminalization of drugs, particularly marijuanas.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So something that people are saying and they have issue with is that for folks, because again, there is a lottery process to determine who can sell this recreational
Yes.
marijuana, open
That
up
means
the
you can't
businesses.
just shop, you can't just get a shop, y'all. Be aware, like, you just can't pop up and be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm about to."
I got an LLC, okay. But the thing is, my understanding, and I think Vanna, we talked about this. My understanding is that folks that have medicinal marijuana licenses,
Mhm.
they kind of get first dibs, right?
Yeah.
On this particular license, and so we already know though, most people with those licenses, they ain't looking like us.
Yeah,
Um,
the process for them to even get those licenses, and it costs a lot of.
taxing, man. It's taxing.
So
So
again, talk about that equity lens.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of other stuff to this. Again, do your research. As they say, the devil's in the details. So just make sure you do your research.
And be
Um,
informed.
yeah, and be informed. So speaking of the state, because again, that amendment, if we pass it, it will change our state's constitution. And so there are other items on the ballot, y'all, that could potentially change our constitution. Again, this is an overview of what some of those items are. Amendment 1, technically, if passed, it will give the state treasurer more flexibility with how our state funds are invested. Um, Amendment 4 would increase the minimum funding for a police force established by a board of police commissioners to
Mm,
ensure the police force has additional resources to serve its communities. And then there's Amendment 5, which, if passed, will create the Missouri Department of the National Guard as a new state agency.
mm.
So, again, there's some stuff there to those. So, look it up. Ask your elected officials too, because they should hopefully be able to provide you a little bit of clarity on these things. And the last thing I did want to mention, what was a
I was gonna say, Kelly, do you think people can call the Board of Elections to get clarification on some of these things as well? Is that a resource for this or no? Like what's on the ballot and if they can break down what it means, do you think they'll be helpful? I'm asking.
I
I'm
don't
just
know. I can't say either way. So
okay.
I
Okay.
can't say either way. If they be able to kind of clarify and break down what these things mean. But
Mm,
that's something I can do some homework on to see. But I can't say either way.
gotcha. Okay.
Um, the last thing I did want to mention about this is the constitutional convention question.
Mm.
So this means if voters approve it, that our legislators in Jeff City, they can hold a convention to make changes to our constitution.
Oh God.
I'm just telling you what they said. Now, again, more information, head to the Missouri Secretary of State's website. And I always say, if you have a great relationship, rapport, whatever, key with your elected officials, especially the ones that represent you at the state level, talk to them about it.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Again, get informed, y'all. Get informed.
all right, so that was the state. Now we gonna get to the local nitty gritty. Now, again, my girl Vanna, she's repping the county. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
shout
Ferguson
out to
resident.
my county people. Y'all.
Oh, we such a special government,
So
St.
what
Louis
are
County.
you? So what are you checking for? What are you checking for?
So, you the city got the mayor, right? That's kind of like y'all higher up, in a sense. St. Louis County, we got so many different municipalities. It's kind of crazy. Some of us do have, mayors in our cities. Shout out to like Ferguson, we have a mayor. But overall, we have also like the county council, and I know they do a lot of unincorporating spaces in St. Louis County. But so Sam Page, right? It's kind of like a big dog. And he's running against this guy here, Matavani. I kind of always get his name a little messed up, but and I'm just if you like me, you listen to the radio in the morning, 104.1 in them. Like I listen to them often and I hear this ad like often in the morning and I wish we could play it, but hopefully you all maybe have heard it a little bit. But they're talking about him running against Sam Page and they mention like didn't he used to be ain't he a Republican now? And so he used to be a Democrat, but now he's a Republican. And I'm just like, why are we party switching? But I don't know. But I just want again, y'all go take heed to that ad and go listen if you can find it. But if not, go again, check out this race. Check out these candidates. Sam Page, he's been in that space for a while now. I think like maybe a couple of years. I think. So go check him out and his history. I know a lot of people hate Sam Page. A lot of people hate Sam Page, but I don't know what this guy here, Mark, is even giving as well, especially that we party switching. So I just want you guys to be very much informed on who both of these people are before you hit the ballot. Because we don't need nobody in here. That yeah, we just need to make sure we getting the right folks in. That's all I'm gonna say. We gotta make sure we getting the right people in. So and take heed to that. I don't know. I really thought it was interesting to hear that on the radio. Yeah, that, and I didn't, I guess I think that's a thing now. Like everybody is like party hopping.
I mean, you do. I guess that is a thing. Let's party hopping. That sounds cool.
Party,
You or bar hopping or party hopping.
yeah, like they party. Like today
Shout
I'm
out
a
to,
Democrat, tomorrow I'm
you know
Republican.
what I'm saying? Shout
But
out
I
to
would think though, Kelly, if you felt like you didn't fit in a category, you could run independent, right? That's also a very much status of party. I've heard of independent people running independent parties. So I don't. I would think that would be the option. I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying again. I think it's very interesting that
yeah. It's very interesting, and I want to say in that ad, and I hate that I was having issues because we were trying to be great, y'all, but
we wanted y'all to hurry. We wanted to have the receipts. So,
but like I, I don't know, it's just interesting because I think in the ad it was like, oh, it's not like a like he's not running on Republican issues or
yeah,
Democrat
he said he's
issues.
non bipartisan.
Yeah, he's nonpartisan or something.
Yeah, non bipartisan
um
or something. He doesn't worry about that, but clearly because I don't know.
I don't know. I do find it interesting, and I'm curious to see how the people gonna vote.
I am too.
Um, because there have been a lot of people voicing their lack of support of Ms. Fan Page,
Yeah.
county exec. Even on the news this morning, someone representing the Ethical Society of Police for St. Louis County. So for folks that aren't aware, they really do a lot supporting Black police officers, holding them down. And someone from their board said that they were officially endorsing Mark Mantovani. And I don't
A lot
think
of endorsement.
ever endorsed a Republican candidate before. And
Yeah.
old boy on the news, he flat out said, "Yeah, I mean, this Page administration ain't checking for us. They ain't supporting for us." So, I mean, again, I'm peeping because I want to see how is this going to shake. How are people going to show up at the poll?
And for me, Kelly, yes, getting to the polls and getting them to like whoever gets into the space when we're talking about voting them in, I'm checking for accountability because we say a lot when we're running. We say a lot. So who on because that it was very intentional about you hearing the voices on this ad, right? So
Wait, so who did you hear? Who did you hear on the ad now, man? Who you talking about? Very particular.
it was very much sounding like this like I was like, is that my little Asus, like Asus energy, like that's what it was really given on this ad, because they specifically was talking about like people don't care about our communities, but such and such does. So my thing is, when you get in this seat, whoever you are, can we keep that same energy that we have when we trying to get Black people to show up at the polls? Now, use that same energy to make some policies and put them in place that is going to be impactful to these communities. That's my thing. So I'm all about the accountability when you're in the spaces. And
sorry, I had
real.
that.
That is real. That's real, y'all. So we need to make sure that whoever gets in this space, which one, we hold them accountable to what they're saying, okay? Because they say it. You heard it in the ads. You see, yeah, we need to make sure that we're holding them accountable. So that's either Sam Page or Mark. We'll see.
we'll see. Oh, I did want to lift up, even though I know most of it, the
Oh,
focus
and
was
Randy,
on
let me not give Randy his space. I'm sorry, Mr.
Green homes. Yes,
Yeah,
our green
'cause that's
party.
again, there's an option, y'all. There's another option. So again,
I couldn't
be
find a picture, y'all. I didn't know if it was the right person, so sorry, Mr. Holmes. This is no shade.
this
So
is not shade to you. We have to, but I think we have to really think of the dynamics of how we're spreading information about all these other parties as well to give them
fact.
some of the same type of, energy. Because I think about a lot of black folks that say, like, I don't want to be Democrat or Republicans. Well, y'all, there are different parties that you can run.
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't got to be either one of those. I'm just saying. Let's
That's
see.
real. That's
Yeah,
real.
let's
There
listen.
are options out there. There
Yeah,
are.
there are two options. So look into those. Look into that. Educate yourself. Yeah, see what resonates with you. If it ain't the Dems or the Republicans.
Facts. All
Yeah.
right. You ready to get into my world?
Ooh, Kelly, I don't know how. Ooh, right now, Kelly, I was talking about the heat of where we are right now. This is probably really important, but
So, y'all, St. Louis City, some not I kind of wanted to lift up real quick. It's not specific to what's on the ballot, but it's voting. So I know in the we had that special election for the president of the board of aldermen, the president of the board of aldermen.
mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of people came out, but there weren't a lot of polling locations available, and I know people kind of felt a certain type of way because they like, what is this, what's going on? So people didn't know if it was a permanent thing or not, and y'all know it wasn't a permanent thing. So we have options. So if you busy booked and busy on November 8th, the actual day we go to vote, don't trip. You can vote starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 25th. You can
Yeah.
vote tomorrow at 4 no excuse absentee centers, meaning you ain't got to have nan excuse. You just show up with your ID because, again, we got to have our photo ID now. Show up
Yes.
with your ID at the Board of Elections downtown. I think the other 3 centers are located. There are libraries throughout the city. So you can do that starting tomorrow. Now, if you
Okay.
if you can vote on the actual day on November 8th, you still have options. So you can vote at your polling location,
Okay.
or or you can vote at 12 vote centers throughout the city, regardless of what your technical polling location is. So again, go to the Board of Elections website to get a sense of, again, what those specific polling locations are. So I just want to put that out there because, like I said, for that special election last month, I know people was kind of like, what's going on with such, it wasn't as many polling locations available. So I just kind of want people to know that it isn't that wasn't a final thing. So I
Yeah.
just want to put that out there.
And
Um
I want to say real quick to the county folks, you can vote anywhere.
I know. I know.
We have that luxury, St. Louis
Just
County.
just broke just broke just broke. Okay, that's fine.
I just have to let the people know. I didn't want them to get confused. Like
I
St. Louis County, we can go anywhere.
I ain't mad at it. We
Ah,
working on it. We
y'all
working
working on it. Come
on
on.
some
Y'all
cool
working
vote centers.
on
We working on it. So I do want to lift up y'all. Now we care about our babies. And I mean, after the day and just every day, we do. So
hmm
we have an opportunity to vote for the St. Louis Public School Board. Now, I really want to lift this up because people ain't really been talking about this. People don't really be talking about these school board elections.
And I want to say disclaimer. We talked about this being on the show before the events that unfolded today. I just wanted to uplift that. So we did really have this idea already of talking because this is important. The school board is definitely important. So we did want to talk about that before. Just so people don't think we are here cloud chasing because that ain't what we do out here.
No, we don't do that over
We don't do
here.
that.
It's like 5 different people. I believe on the ballot you can vote. You can choose 2 people, I believe.
Okay.
So make sure, please, again, do your research. I know there have been some different events throughout the city. Again, I follow various folks on Twitter. Hit me up, but
Mm,
I've been finding out all like there have been a couple different candidate forums. I know some neighborhood association. Shout out to Kingsville. They've
okay.
had some of the school board candidates at their meeting just to speak to their platform and why they should serve on the school board, St. Louis Public School Board. So again, y'all, do your research and make sure to, I will say social media is good. And I've been finding some information about a couple forums here or there with these candidates. Um, and then the other thing, the Board of Alderman president, y'all.
Ooh.
And this is not, I know people like, is this deja vu? Didn't we just vote? I know. We just voted. We just voted these people. I know, y'all. We did. However, this is for the marbles, the whole marbles.
Mm,
Um, so we got two candidates, Megan Green, Jack Coda, and both of them they are current alder people. Um, I will say, Centennial Christian Church, Disciples of Christ St. Louis. Shout out to them because they held a forum on my mama birthday. Shout out to her. On October 5th. I wasn't able to physically make it because I was hanging out with her, obviously. Um, but I was able to check it out on Facebook Live because
okay.
they streamed it on Facebook Live. So I was able to watch it after the fact. So I'm telling people go to Centennial Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, St. Louis Facebook page. And you can check it out. The forum was held on October 5th.
Mm,
And they discussed various topics,
mm,
including a controversial one that really sets them apart is this idea of defunding the police. So
mm,
say check it out again. Make sure you are informed. Something else I do want to lift up about this election. Um, Whoever wins, they will serve as a board of alderman president for just like 4 months. So y'all remember Brother Lewis Reed, former board of alderman president. He got caught up with feds, and so he resigned.
the
And so
drama again of policy.
So because of his resignation, that means the board of alderman president, there was a vacancy. And so this election, whoever wins will fill his vacancy for the rest of his term. And his term was going to end in the spring of
Yes.
next year. So these folks, they'll be the board of alderman president for a few months. Then they got to turn right around and run for the same damn position again. Um,
But shout out to y'all in the city though, for people to be aware, like redistricting happened. And so everybody in their mama literally has to run again in April, y'all. So y'all be up on what's happening. Where's the redistricting, how that impacted your area, and who is running in your space. Because everybody has to run again.
and I will say, here at Monday Night Live, we'll be covering everything there is to know.
Yes.
Because, like Shavanna said, just like you gotta apply for a job, right? If you want your job, you gonna have to reapply, bro or sis. So
Yes.
with these new wards, with everything again, our wards going from 28 to 14, everyone's gonna have to run again if they want to serve in that capacity again. And because of the change in boundary lines, some of
Mm-hmm.
these people gonna be running against each other.
Yes. And guess who gets to put them in the seat, y'all? Yeah, the people. So again, like she said, if they out here applying for that job, engage with them. Go ask them questions. And if you feel like they're not qualified, hey, let the community know what is up. What's up? Why you feel like that? Tell the people. But again, inform and be very much aware and educated on who these folks is and if they get your vote or not. Okay. Cause
That
y'all, we can put them in the seat. And we put them in the seat if we vote or if we don't.
if we vote or if we don't.
If we
If we
vote,
vote,
if we don't, they're still getting in the seats. Okay. Yeah. probably getting there a lot quicker without us voting. Just saying.
That part.
Okay.
Message. So, real quick, again, that's it, y'all, for real, as far as our overview of what's on the ballot. Again, as we said, we did not touch on every single item, including, for instance, judges. Judges will
Oh,
be on the ballot. So, we didn't touch on that. State reps, state
oh,
senators, those people will also be on the ballot, but it depends on what is on your ballot depends on where you stay, where you live. So
mm-hmm.
we are
And some of
telling
those people are running unopposed, just to let y'all know. So that means no one is running against them, meaning that they automatically get the seat. So I'm gonna need some of us to get some energy to want to run. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Come on, y'all. Let's get some energy and running and being in these spaces. Okay, St. Louis, turn up, turn up, turn up.
So just go to your sample ballot again, check it out, because I don't want to hear nobody. Kelly and Vanna didn't mention da 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 da.
We could. We ain't got that much time, and we'll be here all night if we did.
Yeah, ain't no, and y'all wouldn't be listening to us if we did. So all right, so this is something we're gonna do. We're gonna try to end on a high note, because with these Monday night lives, I mean, who knows what we'll be talking about.
Yes.
Most of the time it will be foolery. I'm anticipating, I could be wrong. You know what, let me not assume, because you know what happens when
No, Kelly, you know, because
I don't
shout
want
out to Kelly. Y'all know she do her rundowns, and Kelly be in all these meetings. And when she dragged me sometimes in these meetings, I'll be like, "What is this, Kelly? What is this mess? This cannot be government. It cannot. Oh my God, this is like a TV show. It's better than Real Housewives of Atlanta." Or I'm
it,
just saying,
it really is. It's kind of sad, but
it
it's the
is.
truth. But we want to try to end things on a high note.
I know.
So, a couple bright spots, people. So, first and foremost, all right, shout out to Vanna. Shout out to Top Two Visuals. Shout
Yes.
out to Deaconess Foundation as well, because of working with
Shout out to
these
you,
folks.
Kelly, for that work too.
Oh, yeah. Um, we have voting resources.
Woo!
Um, that really lay out what we kind of talked about tonight. So Vanna again did a great job. Shout out to her as doing as serving as a voice actress, doing some voiceover work. I mean, and it was hard, y'all. Shout out to Vanna for giving that.
It is not easy as people think. Okay, trying to, especially shout out to, again, Kelly. No, shout out to you for
Oh,
even having to break this stuff
oh,
down.
information, y'all. It's a lot of information. Okay.
It'd be like, and then the wording, y'all know they like to confuse us in this wording process. So again, shout out to Kelly, because we want to make this easy for people to understand, so people can really tap in, man, because it's important, yo. It's important. So shout out to you, and I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this, girl. Yes, yes.
Real quick, I want to shout out Miss Felice Sky. Hey girl, hey, hey girl, hey. Thank you for, you know what I'm saying, tapping in for our first show. Appreciate the love. Appreciate
Yes.
it.
Yes. Please share. Share.
Yes, please share. So we'll have the videos available. We also have social media posts. We
Yeah.
also have a cool little graphic as well for folks if you want to share it via email or whatever to your people, your homies, your homies, people that you ain't really cool with like that for real, but you just kind of mess with them sometime because you know what, for whatever reason, y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, I don't
Yes.
have people like
Yes.
that because I don't have a large group of friends I roll with. But that's neither nor there. But y'all know how we are. Y'all know how we are. We kind of cool. We ain't cool, but we're
What they say? That's my associate. Yeah, that's us, little associate. Yeah, so send it to your associate too.
share it. Share it
Yeah.
to everybody. Sharing is caring. Because again, we need to get this information out there. Because as Manna said, our votes count whether we show up or we don't. Mm.
Yes, I do. Yes.
So share that, and then Vanna, the free rides to the polls.
Free
What's going?
ride to the polls. Free rides to the park. So y'all, we really like, sometimes you just ain't got access and you like how I'm gonna get to the polls, which I really appreciate that they're addressing because transportation is a barrier, right? So shout out to this space. Contact A. Philip Randolph institution, the number here on the screen. Go call them and be like, hey, I heard y'all giving out free rides to the polls. How can I get down with that? Because I need that. If you need that, or if you know someone that might need that, check on our elderly folks.
Mhm.
If you're not getting them an absentee ballot, like how
Mhm.
can you make sure that they're getting where they need to be and safely? So tap into this space, y'all. Bus line and all that might be a headache. You ain't trying to take 3 or 4 buses, especially down there in the city, because y'all got all that going on. Make sure y'all tap into this free ride and take use of these types of resources because when we don't, and y'all know your girl, if you don't know me, I'm all about resources because if we do not utilize them resources, they will take them away. So, baby, while they got them, you better get them, okay?
Goodness.
Real ish. So, tap in, y'all. Tap in. And shout out to them for even doing that. I
Shout
appreciate that.
out, yeah. And again, y'all share this information with people as well, so we can make sure our people get to the polls.
Yes.
And if we don't use the resources, we lose the
We
resources.
lose them. Yes. And we don't need to lose nothing, okay?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing. We need them all and more. We need
Yeah,
more.
we need. Yeah, yeah, we
What
need.
we have ain't enough. We need
Not even
more.
close. So that's it, y'all. Thank you again for tuning in. For folks that will be checking us out after our live broadcast, feel free if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel
Yeah.
free to put them in the comments. Also share, because sharing is caring.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to make this super consistent as possible, but we need y'all. And we also hopefully again we're gonna be here next Monday, 8 p.m. We want people to join because this is a space we really want to dialogue and engage with people, answer folks' questions, and key. Also, something I didn't share,
Uh-oh.
people don't know, we will have special guests
Yes.
coming on
Yes.
to shoot the breeze with us. I'm really excited
I'm
about
excited.
special guests.
Yes.
So stay
No.
tuned for that. Before we close out, Vanna, you got any announcements, anything you want to share with the people as far as what's shaking on your radar this week? First off, though, shout out to you again. Can you tell the people where you at right now, real quick? I know you missed.
So shout out to the ATL. Shout out to the March of Dimes. They have this dope conference that's happening right now, centering Black maternal health and birth equity, which is really a big thing. And so what I love about it is being able to see that this work is being done worldwide and the impact that they're trying to make collectively. So I appreciate it. And that's where I am, y'all. Send me all the positive energy that y'all can. I speak and present tomorrow. Shout out to Generate Health for pulling me into this space. And that's where I'm at, y'all. So I'm live from ATL. This is much love to y'all. I gotta do this. And with all the stuff that's going on, and just being a heavy day. So, yes, I'm super excited to be able to tap in for my STL fam. And give this information because again, like you said, Kelly, it's really valuable being educated and aware of what's going on in our local government. So again, y'all don't understand. I've tapped into these meetings, y'all. And Kelly watches them all. I don't know how she does it.
I
But
don't know either. I don't know
I
either.
don't know how she does it without pulling her hair out. Cause I be like, Kelly, what is this? This is crazy, girl. So, and I'm very much aware, y'all, and I talk about this because people it's sometimes the language barrier. What are they saying? What does this mean? And so shout out to my sister here. She is very much helpful in breaking it down and explaining it. So you are very much appreciative. I'm appreciative of you, Kelly, and what you're doing, and how you get to like give us the real and break it down to us the way that we need it. So shout out to what you doing. And I'm so happy that I'm here to collaborate with you on this space because yes, we need this. Y'all better make sure y'all subscribe to this channel too, y'all.
Please do.
Subscribe. You got
We
to.
do. Sharon is Karen. Speaking of meetings, I will share this, y'all. Tuesday tomorrow. Check out the St. Louis County Council meeting if you can, because for people that follow me, been checking for me, engaging with me for a while, for damn near a year, it feels like we've been talking about ARPA, St. Louis County.
Yes.
They are gonna decide.
Don't get
They're
fed.
gonna make their final decisions tomorrow, y'all, on how they gonna spend their remaining 60-something $1 million in ARPA funding.
So y'all
Um,
gotta tap in and then let me know because I'm not there and I ain't gonna be able to catch it. So let me know what happened,
Please,
y'all.
we're gonna
Please.
talk about it. We're gonna talk about it next week, though, man. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. We gonna talk about it, but I want the people to know.
Tap in, y'all. Go see for yourself the foolery.
Yes, Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Boxcast platform. Um,
Tap in, tap in.
so that's it, y'all. That is our
Yeah.
show for
Yeah.
this week. Thank you for the folks that were able to kind of check us out live. Uh, People that will check us out after it's live. Again, like I said, feel free to comment, share.
Yeah.
And you'll catch us next week, y'all, 8 p.m.
Send us STL, peace, love, peace and love, y'all. Peace and love. We need it right now. Real talk. So,
Facts. So stay safe out there, y'all. Take
yes. See
peace.
y'all next Monday.